reduced to complete dependence upon the spinning mill or the putters out who took yarn into the uplands, the weavers were now exposed to round after round of wage reductions. Wage cutting had long been sanctioned not only by the employer's greed, but by the widely diffused theory that poverty was an essential goad to industry. The author of the Memoirs of Wool had probably the industry of the west of England in mind when he wrote, "It is a fact well known that scarcity, to a certain degree, promotes industry, and that the manufacturer who can subsist on 3 days' work will be idle and drunken the remainder of the week. The poor in the manufacturing counties will never work any more time in general than is necessary just to live and support their weekly debauches. We can fairly aver that a reduction of wages in the woolen manufacture would be a national blessing and advantage, and no real injury to the poor. By this means, we might keep our trade, uphold our rents, and reform the people into the bargain." But the theory is found almost universally among employers, as well as among many magistrates and clergy in the cotton districts as well. The prosperity of the weavers aroused feelings of active alarm in the minds of some masters and magistrates. "Some years ago," wrote one magistrate in 1818, "the weavers were so extravagantly paid that, by working 3 or 4 days in the week, they could maintain themselves in a comparative state of luxury. They spent a great portion of their time and money in alehouses, and at home had their tea tables twice a day, provided with a rum bottle and the finest wheaten bread and butter. Reductions during the Napoleonic Wars were sometimes forced by the large employers, sometimes by the least scrupulous employers, sometimes by little masters or self employed weavers working for commission houses. When markets were sluggish, manufacturers took advantage of the situation by putting out work to weavers desperate for employment at any price, thereby compelling them to manufacture great quantities of goods